Okay, I'm sorry about this, and I promise this is not becoming a channel about politics. And and this is a channel about having fun and enjoying comic books and their related media and science fiction and other science fiction things. And we will be getting back to movies and TV shows soon, but once I can figure out how to get a working camera. But anyway, this just blew up over the weekend, and it's outrageous. It's an insult to everyone who ever fought and died against racism to do this. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, he didn't want his children judged by the color of their skin. He wanted them judged by their content of their character, but all this sees is skin color and race. This is all this sees is race and sexual orientation. And I talked to some people on Facebook and Twitter, and it seems that some gay people are saying that they don't meet the qualifications to go to some of these mixers. So that's how bad it is. But there's one aspect that isn't being talked about, and I hinted at it in the video description, and that's why I decided to make this video real quick, because I can't believe that everybody missed this, but it makes me laugh, and that's why I'm putting this out there. These people have, in effect, banned Jewish people from the mixers at Comic-Con. Yes, Comic-Con is now banning Jewish people from the mixers. And when you look at the sheer number of Jewish people who have been important creators in comics, it's ridiculous. But it goes beyond that, because guess what? When the Nazis first started, they didn't just start with a law sending all Jews to death camps. Oh no, they started small by first banning Jews from certain events, banning Jews from going into certain buildings, making Jews identify themselves, that sort of thing. And this right here does that to Jewish comic book creators. It does. Unless you're gay and Jewish, you can, and even then you might have some trouble getting in if you're not the right type of gay. You are in trouble because you can't get in. So they are, in fact, using the Nazis' tactics to keep Jews out of comic book mixers. Yes, these people, it's not only Nazi tactics in that they're bringing back segregation, which is just wrong. Too many people died. People died stopping segregation so that blacks and whites could talk together and could be in the same place without anybody saying boo to them. Too many people died to end segregation, but then to turn it back around, and these people who love to call everyone else a Nazi have just turned around and used Nazi tactics to keep Jews out of Comic-Con mixers. If you're Jewish, you are not welcome at a Comic-Con mixer. And as someone who knows some very nice Jewish people and who in my life has known them and knows the history of comics. I mean, we're not just talking Stan Lee here. We're talking Jack Kirby. We're talking Jerry Spiegel and Joel Shuster. We're talking tons of people. I mean, we're talking about people who, like Bob Kane, who felt, and Stan Lee, who felt that at the time that the industry was so racist they had to hide their Jewish origin by using pseudonyms. Stan Lee, the famous Stan Lee, was actually born Stanley Lieberwitz. But he was afraid that he wouldn't get work in the industry if he signed his work Stanley Lieberwitz. So he started using the moniker Stan Lee, and that's the name he's been going under for so many decades now. So to turn that around and now bring back segregation against Jewish people, and to start down this road of segregation against Jewish people, and it won't stop there. This is just how it starts. This is always how it starts in history. So they're starting now with banning Jewish people from mixers. Soon it will be Jewish people from Comic-Con. This is exactly Nazi tactics, and it just makes me laugh, and it's just an aspect of this that hasn't been talked about, and I just thought it needed to be talked about here. So yeah, if you have thoughts on this, let me know. But yeah, that's just was my thought while I was thinking about this while doing the dishes this morning. Is like, what on earth are they thinking? Do they think this makes them look good? Banning Jewish people from mixers at Comic-Con? This cannot end well. This will not end well for anything. It won't end well for minorities either. Because this shuts them off from, here's the thing, they're proud of being minorities. Minorities. Well, that means that you're never going to be in the majority of people, which means that yes, your talent is going to shine through, but you're going to have to work with people in the majority, because the only way to fill up enough jobs to keep a company going is to have some people in the majority employed, which means you're going to have to work with them. If you're not even allowed to speak to the majority of people, if you're not even allowed to go to an industry event and speak to them, how are you supposed to make it in the industry? If you're not allowed to even speak to people who are of a different race. You can't. Especially if you're in a minority. So this is more damaging to minorities, I think, than it is to white people, and that just offends me to the core. So let me know what you think. All right, thank you for listening, and next video will be a lot more fun than this, I promise. Goodbye.